Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a good day. It is very warm here in Wales, UK. It is like 26, 27 degrees. I'm indoors, of course, introvert self, but it is boiling. So apologies if you can hear cars in the background because I have the window open, but I did close the one closer to me, so I'm like boiled. But anyway, back to the build. I always have to have my little rant in the beginning. But today we are working on a massive family home. I can't remember whether it was for a 100 baby challenge or not, but it may as well be because it is 4 stories and it is humongous. But it did take me quite a while, as you can probably see. When my videos are like above 20 minutes and you know that it took a long time to do it, because it means that I've filmed for a while, I speed my videos up by ×4, so yeah, it probably did take me about a day and a half-ish. Not like an entire day obviously, but over the course of a day and a half. I didn't want to rush through this one because this is a another Sims build. So I wanted to take my time because this person had very specific requirements, which was quite fun for a challenge because sometimes it's very creative freedom and other times it's very specific what they want. So this was a very specific one. But yes, it is huge. It's got, I don't even know how many bedrooms, but enough for every age range, every age group, everything. We do have like a little annex building. Again, I need to look up the definition of an annex. Does it mean that it's not attached to the building? I don't know, but we've got like a second home attached to the home then that could be for a butler or a maid or I don't know, whatever you want. Or even the teenagers, because teenagers could live in there, anything really, but it is like another space for them to live in. It's got a whole kitchen and dining, lounge, bedroom. I don't know whether it has a bathroom. I think it does. It has a bathroom outside the room, I think, because everything else is like all in one. Anyway, I just realised how chaotic this terrain paint was. I'd completely forgotten. It glitched and then I just kind of like gave up and then like did it off camera, but it's fine. The exterior of this house did drive me a bit up the wall, not gonna lie. I do like how it turned out, but it was quite frustrating, so I decided to add lots of pillars and kind of just roll with this little bump out that I had with the pillars going up, or columns. I always say pillars, but you know what I mean, going up to the roof. But I do like it. It just did take me quite a while and it wasn't my usual style of exterior that I do with the little roof bump out like that with the pillars, so it was just something different, but I do like it. But yeah, it's a 4-story house, guys. It's massive. I don't know how I do 4-story builds, honestly. Like when I edit them, I'm like, did you seriously do 4 stories? Like, are you insane? Like, I don't even realise it when I'm doing it, just how massive the builds are. But yeah, I do really like how it turned out. The exterior is gorgeous at the back. I particularly like the back garden. Not necessarily the garden, but just the aesthetic of the back garden. We've got like a little conservatory, like a bump out area with like grill space and some seating that like you can walk out onto from the kitchen lounge area. But yeah, I just really like that. I've been using vines a lot lately, in case you couldn't tell. I do really like them lately. Why? I don't know. I had someone ask me how I make my vines look like I do, and I was like, oh, I don't know. How can you explain that? It is funny sometimes the questions you get asked. I'm like, I want to be helpful, but I don't know how to answer the question, how I make my vines look good. I don't know, I guess you just have to have an eye for it, I guess. There's not really another way to explain it. I wish I could, but I don't know. So I did decide to put a little office space downstairs because there was a lot of rooms and I wanted to make sure that every room was like usable. You know, I didn't want to have some spaces that you didn't really use. So I did put 2 computers in there, 2 desks and a chess table, because I thought, well, at least you can do some skill building in that space. And there's a mirror as well, so of course you could do charisma or whatever you like. I did decide to double up the rugs in here. This is kind of like the main lounge space then. We do have another lounge area in the kitchen, which is where the deck like walks out to, or not walks out to, but you'll see in a second. So I did want to have like a main lounge, which is quite modern and sophisticated if I do say so myself, but I do really like how it turned out. And I decided to add levels, so you walk up into this lounge. As you can see, there's a white step there, and these chairs, the chair colour, I'm obsessed with this colour. It's like an emeraldy green sort of colour, but I love that colour. I think it's the only colour I ever really use in my builds. As you can tell, it's usually just like shades and then a bit of green. I just think it looks good with the plants as well, so that's my thing. But yeah, I tried not to use kits in this build, I think, did I? Unless I did just go all out, I can't remember. I tend to try and like stay away from kits when building for other people, because not everyone has all the kits, of course, because it's more like a specific thing you'd want as a builder. I do own everything other than Star Wars, which I'm contemplating on getting, guys. I saw Lil Simsy did a video the other day, and she was using a Star Wars floor, and I asked her where it was from, and she was like, oh, it's from Star Wars, and I was like, the one thing I don't have. So I might have to get Star Wars, guys. Might be finally time to crack. I might have to do it. But we shall see. I love doing these little seating areas in the kitchen. I can't remember who I saw do it first. I didn't come up with the idea, of course, but I really like it. Obviously it's not really functional with the table, but you can still sit there. I just think it's cute for like toddlers, because they usually leave the room to go and sit in the lounge on the sofas, and like at least here they can sit all together. So I just think it's quite cute. I really like this kitchen. I think it's really like, I don't know, rustic, but like modern at the same time, with like the wood tones but with the black as well. I really like it. But yeah, also the song, guys, I love the song. Anyway, I wanted to add lots of like decorative pieces to this kitchen, so I did add quite a bit of clutter. I probably could have added more, to be honest, but it's fine. I like it as it is. But yeah, it's so warm, guys. Like, it's boiling, and I don't feel too great today. Like, I'm okay, but I just don't feel too well. But it could be the heat making it worse, to be honest, because I'm used to freezing cold and the rain, so it is like a massive heat wave for Wales and Britain generally at the moment. So, you know, we'll get through it. I'm grateful for it, but it's like overwhelming at the same time because I'm so not used to it. But you know, it's fine. So yes, we're just working on the area I was talking about that leads out onto the deck area, and then we've got this little bump out area that you walk down into, which I just think is really cute. It's like a little conservatory, but like a modern conservatory. I personally love this space. I think it's really adorable. I just think it adds another element to this house to make it not seem like too overwhelming because it's so massive. Right now we are just working on the dining room. As you guys know, aren't particularly fond of dining rooms in particular. It's not something I enjoy building necessarily. I think everyone's got like a thing that they enjoy. Mine's definitely family homes, of course. I do like community lots, but it's more of a challenge for me than suburban homes. But dining rooms, I just never know what to do. But to be honest, I did quite like this one because the colour scheme I enjoy. Again, with a bluey greeny colours, always the same. I wanted to keep it very modern, but these chairs just fit really well, like the colour did, but it could do without being wood because they do look very like cabin vibes, which isn't really what I was going for, but it's fine. I like the colour, so we're just ignoring the wood. I didn't really know what to put in this corner, so I did end up putting a little easel for some skill building. That's the word. I always use this mirror, guys, like always. I can't help myself. It's always there. I did add a bit of clutter as well. I did go to add stuff underneath the whatever that cabinet's called that is glass, but I didn't end up doing it because I thought, well, the playroom's next door, so I'm just going to put all of their toys in there, and I absolutely adore this playroom. It's probably one of my favourite rooms in this entire house. I just think it's adorable. I do add a little craft area in this corner here, and I just love it. It's probably one of my favourite little areas in this whole house. I just think it is really sweet. There's so much going on in this home that it's quite nice to have something that's a bit more simplistic and just a bit more family orientated and cozy and less modern. As much as I do enjoy making modern stuff, like I said, I prefer my casual suburban vibes, but I would definitely still live here. Like, if this was real life, I'd prefer to live in a house like this than my suburban style, but in game I prefer making it suburban. How many times have I said suburban? Probably like 7 or 8. But yeah, guys, off topic, but the artist for the Sims 4 Horse Ranch Let's Play trailer is a country singer, and I love his music. And when the trailer came out, I was like, I know this song, but I can't think who it is because obviously it was in Simlish. But then I realised it was who it was, and I tagged him on my story, and then he messaged me being like, oh, thanks so much for liking my music. And now I went to go to his concert because he's playing near me soon, and he was like, oh well, you know, it's sold out now, that's why the tickets weren't available, because I thought that the site was just playing up, but he was like, no, there's no tickets available, are you able to come to a different one that I was or could have gone to? I was like, no, sorry, that's too far for me. And he was like, oh, don't worry, I'll put you on the guest list. Guys, I'm going to a concert from someone who who sung in Simlish literally like a month ago, so he worked with The Sims, plus he's one of my favourite artists anyway, and I'm going to his concert and my partner is on the guest list. Like, I literally was like completely fangirling. I'm so looking forward to going. I'm not the best at concerts and it is all standing and I get nervous, but it'll be fine, and I don't really know what being on the guest list means. Like, hopefully it'll all go okay. But I am looking forward to going, like ecstatically excited looking forward to going, but I'm a bit nervous as well, so hopefully it'll all be fine. But it is amazing to talk to someone who is like an icon to me, and they're really nice as well, a really nice person, so hopefully I'll get to meet them, to thank them in person, because that would be great, because they're so generous letting us go even though there's no ticket, just because they know that I'm excited about going, or would have been excited about going, and I would have bought tickets if there were any, but there weren't. But I had asked this person beforehand, so you know, how wonderful, how generous and lovely of them. So let's hope that all goes well and that I can get in successfully. Imagine I show up and they're like, nah, you're not on the guest list, love. That'll just happen to me, won't it? But no, I don't think that'll happen, hopefully. But I'm really excited. So yeah, that's my little happy moment for the day. But now we're just working on it. The teenage girls room, I think is really pretty. I wanted to make one side a bit more like an older teen. Maybe this girl is like 16 and the other one's like 13 perhaps. I did want to kind of have a bit of like an age gap between them. I didn't want them to be too similar in age, so I did add some teddies, as if she's like, you know, transitioning into being like an older teen, but still got her little selection of toys in her room. And then the other side is more of like an older teen, and I just like how it turned out. I just think it's really pretty. But yeah. Moving on to my bathrooms that all look the same. I did use these cabinets, which I really like. I don't tend to use them in kitchens because they kind of like, they don't really go with many counters, and the counters that it comes with are all black and they're very dark, so I tend to like sway away from them. I do still like them and I think the pattern and style is really nice, but I just tend not to use them. I kind of usually go for either Horse Ranch, Parenthood or Dream Home Decorator counters, generally speaking, for kitchens. I adore making kitchens. It's one of my favourite rooms in the house. I don't know why, I just like adding all the clutter. I don't dislike making bathrooms, I feel like they all look the same. Not everyone's, I mean literally just me, but I don't know, I tend not to film all of them anymore because they kind of do look similar. But anyway, we're moving on to the room. I think this was made for grandparents, but I could be wrong, but you could turn it into whatever you wanted. This is available to download on my gallery at Laura Abbey X, as always. But yeah, there's a lot of bedrooms. Like I said, there is a bedroom for every single age range. So there's one for the elders, which is this room. There is one for the parents, of course, teens, children, toddlers. Is there a toddler room? I can't think. Maybe there isn't a toddler room. There should have been. I actually don't think I added toddlers. Whoops. There's an infant room. I just forgot about toddlers. But anyway, you could turn one of the other rooms into a toddler room if you wanted to. I can't believe I forgot toddlers. That's embarrassing. But this is the children's bedroom. I really like this space. It's kind of like for any gender, any whatever you want to be room. I didn't have any particular characteristic in mind. I just kind of went with like a kid-friendly bedroom, and then it was like cute and cozy. And I used the new, at the time, because this is from like a month ago, whenever Horse Ranch came out was when I was making this, so I used these beds. It was the first time ever using these beds, and I adore them. Aren't they the cutest? Like the unicorn beds, I just think they're so like detailed. And even the wood, I'm like so obsessed with build items in this game, guys, in case you couldn't tell. But I just really love like all of the swatches recently. I just think they've advanced so much in the textures of the items, and the new kits that are coming out as well, I'm so excited for. I can't even remember what it's called, like Modern Luxe Kit or something. I don't know the specific name. And Splash Pad, is it? I don't know the names of them necessarily, but I'm very excited for them. Obviously more so the build one because that's my thing, but still, getting new swim items for Cass will be great because we do need some. I hope they eventually bring out a kit for like toddlers, like bedtime clothes, like pajamas and stuff, because I was looking yesterday. I don't usually do gameplay lately because I've been building like a mad woman, but I do a bit of gameplay on the outside at the moment, like off camera. I tend to spend my mornings and afternoons editing videos and reels and screenshots and whatnot, and then once it gets to like when my fiance comes home, I have a bit of a break from technology for a little bit, and then I go back in and I'm either doing gameplay, or if I've got other simmers who want builds made, I'm making their builds. But if I'm not doing that, then I'm doing gameplay, is what I'm trying to say. I can't speak today, guys. The music's a bit loud in my ears, so it's distracted me. But I have been doing a bit of gameplay, and I realised there's not many clothes for toddlers, like in the pyjama section. There's like 4 options, maybe. Obviously you can have like a top, but again, there's only like 3 tops, so I think they should do that. I'd buy it. I mean, what wouldn't I buy? Let's be real, like anything that is Sims, I'll just buy it. The only thing I haven't bought, like I said, is Star Wars. But I am contemplating it, but I have looked at the build and buy stuff like a lot, and I'm like, I just wouldn't use it in anything. I can't see myself using it, but I don't want to have like not own everything. I know it sounds really stupid, but like as a content creator, it just feels a bit like wrong to not have everything. So I might get Star Wars, but we shall see. But anyway, we're moving on to the final indoor section. This is the annex building that I was on about. It's technically attached to the house, so again, I need to look up the definition, but this is a separate home which is also attached to the house. You can access it via the outside only. I don't believe there is a door from the inside. You can access it from the upstairs from the inside. So the teenage girl's bedroom does actually go into the upstairs of this building, but it is empty at the moment because I didn't need to fill it anymore, but apparently I did because I forgot to add a toddler room. But it's fine. There is a downstairs as well. There is like a bar area and a game section, and there's another playroom downstairs. But I didn't film that section, I did that off camera. But like I said, you could turn this room into anything. You could have stay over guests in here, so they've got like their own section, or you could have the teens live here, or when the mum gets fed up with the dad, or vice versa, they can come and like hide away in the little like cabin area, which is not a cabin, it's massive. This is like the size of like a normal house, but like, you know, they're very extra, guys. But yeah, we are moving on to the final part of the exterior in a second. The exterior is gorgeous. I did spend quite a while making it as nice as I could. I just think it's really pretty. It's definitely like, if I owned a house this massive, I'd want this as my outside. They have a massive pool and they've got some like rockery, and I just really love the glass element. I just think it's really pretty, and I like that there's like not too much space, you know? Like sometimes when you build, there's like too much space in the back garden, or there's not enough, but I kind of feel like the 50 by 50 really suits my builds. It's like not too overwhelming for me, although I say that, I did have a bit of a struggle with the pool, as you can tell. it just wouldn't work for me. I was like, what is going on? I know it's just not my thing. I just don't make pools very often in like a weird shape, but we got there in the end, so it's fine. I think that's the thing. I try and like not be too hard on myself, because you know, it's all about progress, and some days won't be as good. Some days I can't build things that I usually like super speedy at, but then other days I'm like, oh, I've never tried this before, and then it turns out great. So it's just take it day by day. And I think my advice for like new builders is just keep trying with different things, keep experimenting, don't be afraid to try out new stuff. I think it's sometimes fun to not necessarily pack restrict, but like have a vision in mind that you want and kind of like go for that style instead of just having complete creative freedom, because I think when there's too many options you can get a bit overwhelmed. So I try not to like overwhelm myself too much, but on the other hand it is also quite fun to have creative freedom and just go all out with whatever you feel. So I did have a complete creative freedom on this house, I do believe, from the other simmer, but yeah, it just depends. But I think my best advice is just to keep going and to not like get discouraged, because sometimes when you build and stuff does go wrong. Like even for me, I've been a simmer for 15 years. I started playing Sims 2 when I was 8 years old. I didn't play it like religiously like I do now. Of course it was on my friend's computer when I went to stay with them in London, and I've been hooked ever since. And yeah, I got Sims 3 when I was like 13 maybe, I'm not really sure. So I did kind of like play Sims 3 a lot, but it was gameplay, I didn't build. And then when I got my own computer, I just went mad at building. So I have been playing Sims 4 since day one, but I didn't really enjoy it in the beginning. So I did take a break from Sims 4 for a while in the beginning and just stuck to 3, and then in around 2017 I started playing a bit more, but 2020 was when I properly started, so it's all a process. I think because I have been a game player for quite a while, it's like it's good to know what works and what doesn't in game, so that helps. But you know, just take your time with it, don't put pressure on yourself, and just have fun with it. You know, it doesn't really matter, as long as you're having fun and you're enjoying it and trying out new styles is all what matters. So yes, that's my word of advice for today, guys. But yeah, I am going to end the voiceover here, guys, because we're nearly at the end and there will be some screenshots. As usual, in these big builds I do include all of the screenshots, so if you'd like to see more of the interior, there will be lots of screenshots over on my Instagram at LauraAbbeyX, and be sure to check out my shell challenge over there. So my shell challenge is due at the end of this month and it is on my gallery, so feel free to go and check that out as well if you'd like to enter. You don't have to, but if you'd like to. So yeah, that is all for today, guys. I appreciate you all so very much. I hope you have the most wonderful week, and I will likely see you guys tomorrow with another build. So yes, thank you all for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks guys, bye!